Hey everybody, this is my 55-gallon gourami tank, and I was recently asked why I only clean the front glass when I do a water change on this tank, and I don't wipe down the glass in the back and on the sides, because that too has algae and cyanobacteria growing on it. So if I'm going to get in there and wipe down the glass, why don't I wipe all of the glass down? And the reason originally, when I first got started keeping fish, I was told to basically disturb as little of the environment as possible. If you're not looking through those panes of glass, it's not obscuring your vision, then there's no reason to wipe them down. Let the algae grow on it, let the bacteria grow on it or whatever, and that will help with your nitrogen cycle and so on and so forth. Now, of course, if you've got hair algae that's out of control, or you've got cyanobacteria that you're trying to treat or something, those would be different scenarios. But for normal growth on the glass, I've always been sort of under the idea that leaving it alone is better for your tank, and I still agree with that idea today. As time went on, however, I began to view the front pane or the viewing pane of the glass as more or less the fourth wall of my aquarium. If you're not familiar with the term fourth wall, it's a theatrical term meaning that the people on stage that are supposed to be in a room are surrounded by four walls theoretically, but the fourth wall is invisible, and we, the audience, are able to see through that wall and into the room where the actors are. Now, the front pane being the fourth wall is not a perfect analogy, because in theory the actors inside the room cannot see out of the fourth wall, but the fish of course can see through the pane of glass. But you get the idea. I really feel like that is sort of a stage setting, and if I'm going to be looking from the outside in, then I want to see the full stage setting. I want to see the back wall that has the painting of the scenery going off into the distance or whatever. And when you look into an aquarium that has algae or growth or whatever on the back glass, you don't get the impression that you're looking into this 12-inch deep box of water. It gives your eyes much more of a sense of depth, of you're just looking into an aquatic environment, and it just continues off on the sides and in the back. And while there may not be any decor, or landscaping off in the distance behind you, just the sheer idea that you visually are looking off into the murk and off into the depths of the water away from you is sort of enhanced by having a not so clean back of your aquarium. So to me, I still view that front pane of glass as the fourth wall, and that's why that's the only one I keep clean. I actually think aquariums look better when three of the sides actually do have the grunge and the growth and stuff growing all over them. That looks natural to me, and it almost looks like, you could think of it as almost like a diorama. A lot of television sitcoms will operate on sort of a fourth wall. BBC, every show the BBC ever did up until about 2005 was a fourth wall styled show. And I'm just used to that. I think that looks natural. I think that looks normal. And my aquariums are the same way. When I look into an aquarium that's clean all the way around, to me, it looks like a brand new aquarium. It looks like the kind of aquariums I talk about where people get in there and they scrub the algae and everything's always bright, shiny, clean. That looks odd to me. That does not look normal. I enjoy building aquariums and establishing them. I like the creative process of putting them together. But once they're put together, I just can't wait until they look lived in. I can't wait until they're established and there's stuff growing on everything and there's some grunge in the tank. A brand new, shiny, clean tank looks odd to me. And when you've got a tank that's got, growth and stuff all over the wood, and the plants have, a patina growing on it, and then the glass all around is shiny, that even further highlights the idea that these fish are in a box of water. It's just this glass box they're in. Whereas, again, the outside being sort of grungy, the same level of grungy as the rest of the tank, just gives it a more natural feel and a more natural appearance to me. Now, I do have a few tanks where I look in the end in addition to the front, and in those cases I will wipe that end down because it's a viewing pane. It doesn't have to be the fourth wall necessarily, but if you're looking through that pane of glass into the aquarium, then that's the one you clean. If you've got an aquarium that sits on the corner and you're looking in the end or the front, clean both of them. The side that faces the wall, leave it alone. And again, it's an aesthetic thing. If you like it clean, clean it. That, it's your tank. You do it the way you like it. But I was asked why I don't clean the back of the tank or the sides of the tank or whatever. And so these are my reasonings. And if you know, again, if you want to clean all the glass and wipe everything down, etc., then that's great in your aquarium. Go ahead and do that. But, you know, I like to have it looking a lot more natural. Now, I also think I was being asked that question because it was sort of under the impression that I was trying to get the cyanobacteria out of the tank, as though I was sort of treating for the cyanobacteria and trying to clean it. And I really wasn't. I was just doing a water change and cleaning the tank, and I wiped the front glass down, and I didn't worry about the rest. If I am going to treat for the cyanobacteria, then I will get in there. I'll scrape all the glass down all the way around the tank. I'll get as much of it out as I physically can. Then I will do the chemi-clean treatment, and we'll go from there. But as far as under normal circumstances, I never touch the glass that I don't look through. If I'm not looking through it to see the fish, if it's not blocking or obscuring my vision, then I don't worry about it. I leave it alone. So there you go. That's my 2 cents. That's how I feel about it. I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. Make sure you're subscribed. You never know what you're going to get with me. Don't forget, as I already mentioned, this one here is my 55-gallon gourami tank. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you real soon in the next one.